Welcome to POV You're a Girl with really cool friends. I'm your host, Diane, and today we have Princess and Faith with us. Hello, you guys. So these are some of my best friends, some of my best business partners, and they're the people I run with basically. They're the people I tell everything to, and they're the people that help me develop, grow, and as a business owner. And I just love these guys so much, so obviously I had to bring them on.
We call this work. Kids that call this work.
This is work, actually.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on my first episode of your podcast.
Yay,
I have been watching everything trickle out. I am so happy to be able to be a part of everything from the first idea of it, the first concept of it, to now being here and having everything roll out. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It's been a very fun ride. It's been very interesting, and I have you to thank for it, a lot of it, in all honesty. This is my mentor, you guys. The way that I met her was so funny. I met her at a coffee and content date. I saw her. She was like, oh yeah, I'm a multiple business owner. I'm do all these things. And I was like, oh my gosh, I found my inspiration. I found the person that's going to help me do this, and I want to just be around all the time. And then she went to Vegas and left me.
I tend to do that.
Yeah. It's okay, but she's here now. She's not in Vegas. But yeah, and then you guys know Faith. She was on our second episode, and she's my mentee that I brought in. So it's just the trickle-down effect of all of us growing and developing. We talk about business, sales, and personal development, because those are all the three things that I really focused on in my last year of entrepreneurship. And so yeah, I would love to talk to you guys a little bit more about that, like how we grew as business partners, how we grew our businesses, how we all make sales so we can have a stable income for ourselves and generate that income for ourselves, and just all the growth that we've all seen together. I know you and I were talking about how our frontal lobe was developing. Good times. I was talking to this about my mom. When I was younger, I was making horrible decisions because that never worked yet. And now that I'm getting older, I'm almost to the age of 25. I'm 22, by the way. I'm not that old. Sorry, not calling you old. I'm not calling you old. You're just
Not that old.
You don't even look old.
I know, it's
You
the
just-
Botox.
Don't even. You just have a fully developed brain.
It definitely, I will say this, it's almost as if the day I turned 25, my whole brain just started to work differently. It's amazing, but you know how you talk about your horrible life decision? Then rather than feeling like it's a horrible life decision, you just feel almost a sense of responsibility now that you know better, that you must also do better. I don't think that everybody actually feels that way, even though it probably works that way.
Probably should be that way, in all honesty. If you know better, do better.
Yeah, but 25 has been a crazy year, we'll say.
I was actually there when you turned 25. That was a very fun one.
Yeah, you probably felt a little bit of the difference too. Just with your 21 to 22.
That was an actual big change. You guys were there on the 22nd. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, so Faith, you're 22 now,
Yes.
right? You're going to be 23?
Yes, this month actually.
Oh my, wait, seriously?
Yeah, it's your
birthday.
It's a Saggy baby.
The day before our Friendsgiving, we're going to have to do a thingy for you.
Really?
Yeah, duh.
Okay.
This girl thinks we're not going to celebrate her birthday. She's absolutely insane.
It's just I'm the type of girl where we could just sit back, relax, have a barbecue or whatever. It's not
Yeah, let's go do that then.
a big thing for me, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go do that. She might have a different place to barbecue if,
Not by then. Not by then. Not in less than 20 days. Oh gosh, I don't even want to think about that. If that were the case, I'd be staying at home.
Valid. That's so valid. But yeah, okay, so all of us are business owners. Prin, give us a little bit about how you became a business owner, why you're a business owner.
Oh, okay. I started as an independent contractor at the age of 18, and really for me, it was all about making ends meet. I have a daughter who's now almost 7 years old, so when I was 18, she was turning 1. And not too many teenagers at that point have the same story. I will say, kind of unfortunately, in Hawaii, it is a lot more common. For me, I got out of the house at 15. I moved out of the house at a very young age because I just didn't have the support and really the parenting that you would think a 15-year-old would have. So moving out, it was all about figuring out who I am, figuring out my life, redefining it, and it wasn't so much I wasn't doing it out of revenge towards my parents. I wasn't doing it out of spite. It was just fun, almost, it's probably what it feels like when you turn 21 and you can go to a bar for the first time. That's how it felt at 15, being surrounded by people who were way too old for me to be around. I might as well have been turning 21 at that point. You know, I had complete access to alcohol. I was staying anywhere I wanted, anytime. I had no curfew. I had no one checking in to see if I was showing up to school or just like literally anything. And so I was already on my own and building my life. And then I created a good income from my job that I was working, but my job also had an opportunity for me to make sales.
Yeah.
So I got really good at sales early on. It was all cash sales. I did still claim my income on paper, but I was doing private one-on-one lessons, coaching gymnastics, and I started at $40 an hour, and by the time I was done, I was charging $60 an hour cash at the age like 15, 16. And then when I came back after giving birth, 17, 18, I was still charging $60 an hour. So I was making $60 an hour.
That's amazing, especially at that age. Yeah.
My paychecks at that time, though, I was making $7.25 at the last job that I worked, the only job that I ever worked. But the last paycheck that I collected, I was making $7.25, $7.50 an hour. Yeah, so I've never made $8 an hour.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
actually insane. I can't believe the minimum wage was that low.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, inflation wasn't this high.
Yeah. Quite some time ago. But I was able to afford any life that I wanted to live for myself at that point, you know, making $60 an hour, and I had a booked schedule, and I was like controlling my schedule, contacting my clients. Like I had full control over everything, and it wasn't like a business thing for me. It was just
Money fun.
yeah, it was just day to day. It was fun. It was so much fun. And the fact that these people were looking at me like I was some professional, because I did exceptionally well in the industry in gymnastics, but I was still so young,
Yeah.
right? And these people didn't know that, because I was totally skipping school to do one-on-one lessons for like these homeschool kids.
Yeah.
But they would pay. They would pay, and I had people that were paying up front for like months on end. And I'd be getting like these big lump sums, like basically like if you were to get a contract, right, with a company at such a young age. And I created a lifestyle that I just was able to do whatever I want. I could afford whatever I want, and really I helped out whoever I wanted to. And I'm not going to say that I'll ever regret helping people out, but at that time I was literally like paying people's bills. And I don't mean like helping friends out. I mean grown adults. Like I was paying grown adults bills because I was making the money.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my own real bills, you know?
Well, at 15, I really wouldn't expect you to.
I mean, don't
But
get me
this
started.
after you have a kid, maybe so.
But yeah.
But you know what? Circling back though to you made your like this. None of this was a business to you yet. It
Yeah.
was just sales. It was just money to support yourself, support your kids, support the people that you were paying the bills for. It wasn't a business, but doing all of that at such a young age taught you so much great business acumen without you even realizing it.
Exactly. So from like, and that's 15 years of my life. Now I've only had 10 more years since then, but really ever since then, that's been my entire life, just in different ways.
Yeah. Just
So-
making sales, making your own income, supporting your family, supporting the people around you, just doing all those things.
And I was lucky to be introduced to mentorship, to be introduced to opportunities, to be introduced to people who were in business ownership. And I was around, some of my friends had parents who were business owners. They had flexibility, they had income flexibility. They would go on trips. They could buy Starbucks every week. That's one thing I was just saying. They would just like, every Saturday after gymnastics, we would just go through the Starbucks drive-thru. I'm like, my mom's never been to Starbucks in her life. Like, at that point.
Dude, I get that because it's so interesting. Because when I was growing up, my mom would take me to like Coffee Bean and Tea to get a matcha and a penne pasta, like pesto pasta, like, just for like
Go to
every.
McDonald's.
Okay, that too. But yeah, it's like she would do that like every once in a while for like a treat because I was being so good, and we did like a mommy-daughter day type of thing. See, I even bring up my mom when she's not here. I miss my mom. It's weird that she's not here. But the other thing though is now my little sister, I totally spoil that kid because I'm able to. And I'll pick her from school like every other day, and she's like, "Oh, can we go get Starbucks?"
No, she is like that. She is your spoiled kid.
She's my spoiled kid, dude. She's 14. She was near your age, and she went, "You were making your own money," and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, "What you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "I'm in basketball now." I'm like, "Oh my god, get out! That doesn't pay anything."
That's so funny.
I mean, it could if she charged right.
Get us started.
So this is one thing, key takeaway, because you know this podcast is all about key takeaways that you can just take away from this podcast.
What can we grab from this?
Yeah, you know, we talked about this. Anyways, I think I wanted to circle back to like you charge $60 an hour at 15.
15.
Charge what you're worth, you guys. People paid it.
Yeah, and I had girls who were coaching the same private lessons for the same time span who were charging $30 an hour, $40 an hour. I had like grown adults, 30, 40-year-old adults working with me, charging the same or less Like, nobody was charging more than what I was charging.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And if I had 2 girls in one session, I'd be doing $80 an hour. Like,
It's
and they're getting a deal.
Yeah.
But you know your worth.
You know,
You work on your craft. You get really good at it. And then you get really good at communicating and sales and just,
you get confident in your prices. You get confident at how you can help. And then when you're confident in who you can help and who you can serve, and you know that what you're giving is valuable, people will understand that value and they'll buy into it. And it's not like, oh, I'm charging a lot because I know you'll buy it. It's more so I'm charging my worth. I'm also giving you so much value that you know that it's also worth it.
Mhm.
And I think that's one thing I've been teaching you, and you've been teaching me, and then
Oh,
vice
yeah.
versa, you've been teaching me. Because I'm not gonna lie, you guys, when I first met her, I was like, oh, is it okay that I'm charging $40 for a bottle of soap? Like, that's kind of insane. And she's like, no, it's fine. And then what's even funnier though is when I was at my previous job, I was having people buy $500 bags. But the second I started doing it for myself, I was like, oh my god, $40 is too much. And then I was like, fuck that. That bag costs $20 to make.
that comes from building your brand.
And that comes from building your confidence and building your business acumen, building your sales acumen, and just developing as a person, growing your confidence, knowing all of those things. It's really insane. And I have you to thank for it. And then I know I've been passing on that information onto you. It's like,
Oh yeah.
charge your words.
I'm learning that right now.
Yeah,
Actually.
it's amazing. So she works for my mom for social media. And I've been negotiating with her all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm going to lowball you, and I'm going to see if you negotiate.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And if she doesn't negotiate, I get mad at her.
I have to have my facts before we do it, unless I leave.
Yeah. I told her, it was funny, I told her 10%, and she was like, okay. And I was like,
No, yeah. I was like, sign me up.
and then I just stared at her through the phone and was like, do you feel this? Do you feel my radiation of anger on why you're not negotiating with me?
Because my thing is, if it makes me money, I'll do it regardless. That's the type of mindset I have right now.
Yeah.
Time is money.
Yeah.
Because if you're getting 10% with this company, but this company wants to work with you doing the same exact thing, taking the same exact time, and they're gonna offer you 15%, say,
Where are you going to go?
time is money, right? Well, but also you're just doing it for money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what money do you want to make? You want to make 10%? You want to make 15%? It's not that you're doing anything more. It's not that your skill sets need to change at all. It's just that people see your value. People value it more. They need it more, whatever it is. And honestly, when it comes down to it, depending on the situation, 10% might not get me out of bed in the morning. And
Yeah.
things need to get done. I'm not just charging it because I know my value and I want to make money, whatever. I'm charging it because I want to deliver very, very good quality work. And in order for me to do that, I need to feel excited about
I
this.
just feel motivated. I need to be like, oh, this is so worth it. You're going to love this, and I'm going to love this, and everyone is going to love this, so let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But for 10%, okay, let's be real. When we were making 15%, with our previous network marketing company, how motivating was that, honestly?
Oh, hello for me.
Really? Okay, tell me why. Why was that so motivating for you?
Because it's a higher percentage for me.
Yeah.
Versus 50% where you're at now.
Yeah. Okay, well, actually, let's go back. The 15% you were making at our previous network marketing company, it got you excited. Why?
Because it was an opportunity for me to learn business-wise and to actually grow. Because I came from no experience at all.
Okay.
So it was a little free trial for me, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
And
You learned a lot.
I did.
You did.
And I'm proud.
And yeah, you know what? I gotta say, when we were making 15% with no other options, it was a great thing.
Mhm.
It was a great thing. We hustled hard, we did all the things, and we were happy and we were good, and it was fine. And then when we got presented the 50% opportunity, how excited were we for that?
Who would have thought your worth actually could have been this whole time 50% instead of 15%? If when you first jumped into your first company, if you were presented both opportunities in one go, and somebody said, hey, 15%, and somebody else said, hey, 50%,
What would you say?
50.
Right?
I would automatically go with the 50.
Exactly. And like, even though it's a lower cost, you're still getting a better commission.
and you didn't stop and think for a second about your skill set.
You kind of just jumped in, right?
I did. Because I really wanted to do online.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if it was an actual thing for me. And doing the 15% business showed me that it was
You
possible.
got your foot in the door.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Like,
Big
yeah,
time.
like it got our foot in the door, we got our knowledge, we built our skill set, and then we're like, all right, we're ready for big dogs, bigger contracts. Yeah, and so now you guys can hire Faith as a social media manager. But yeah, so definitely hire out my girl. She's been great. She's been doing so well for my family. And I think I did want to kind of pivot into, you guys are like my family, and in business, this is just me personally. I'm someone who loves doing business with people I love. And these are some of the people I love so much that I've incorporated and integrated them into my actual family. Like, she works for my mom, she works for my auntie. She literally mentors my mom in how to grow her confidence and just be, like, just love herself more. It's been amazing. I bring up my mom all the time. But, like, one of the things my mom always says is, whenever I'm around you guys, I just want to be so pretty and so confident. And it's like, I feel like that's what you need to do as a person. Like, if you want to develop, you want to grow as a person, which should be everybody's goal, honestly. If you don't want to grow or develop as a person, you're lame. So, not sorry.
I call it a sleep.
Yeah, explain that.
When you don't understand the opportunities or the life that could come with growing yourself, growing your person, your mindset, all of these, your association, opportunities, everything. You're asleep. In a sense, you're asleep. You're like a zombie. You're just going through life every single day. You wake up, maybe you have your routine. You know, you're probably watching a whole lot of Netflix, something, whatever it is. But you're making all of these choices based off of how you feel and how you feel in the moment. You're not thinking about any of the negative things, which, like, maybe that's a positive thing for some people. You're not thinking about your future by any means. And really, when it comes down to it, if you're here to live this life all the way through, like, you have one life. There's this Confucius saying, right? It says, you have two lives. You have your first life, and your second life begins when you realize you only have one life. And then you start to treat it.
I got it.
Key takeaway right there.
Yeah. Then you start to treat it like this is your one life. You're never going to be in this moment again. You're never going to have this opportunity to make the decisions that you have right in front of you right now again. You know, you can go back and you can renegotiate, but what has been done has been done. Don't feel any kind of regret or remorse towards it, but just take that moment, be as present as possible, and make the best out of that moment, out of every moment. And when you start to treat every moment like that, every opportunity like that, you'll see the trickle effect of everything just aligning. It becomes easier to choose yourself, to choose the right choices, and you just feel more right. Everything just feels better. The ick goes away, you know? So if you can't do it for all the positive reasons, do it to get rid of the negative reasons, because those negatives are always going to be there.
But okay, so honestly though, I do love saying that, and that kind of ties into this whole thing I was going to go into about, like, surround yourself with people who talk like this. Surround yourself with good people that you want to be like, that you want to see yourself grow with. Like, I think one of the things you and I talked about on the live yesterday is I inspired you, you inspired me, and that's what really got us going. And then you inspired me to be even better, be a better mentor. Mm-hmm. You inspired me to be, like...
Really? You inspire me every single day. Your consistency is inspiring.
Your consistency is insane, dude.
But also, it feels like, you know, there are eyes on me. There are people looking up to me. There are people who rely on me.
They're watching
every single day. Yeah. Every single day, I want to be better. I want to do better, not just for myself, but for you guys.
Yeah, so it's like when you're in a room and you're surrounding yourself with people who inspire you and you can inspire as well, you just grow so much as a person. And like I was saying before, like, if, like, your goal in life should just be developing as much as you can, growing as much as you can. And I'm not saying that that should be your thing. I'm just saying that when you come from that place, it's so fulfilling. It feels so good in the heart. And this is one thing she's taught me. There is no feelings in business, like, there's no emotions in business, but you can still feel good about your business. You still want to feel good about who you're helping. You still want to feel like you're supporting your community, you're getting support from your community back. Like, those feelings matter in your business, but, like, all the other feelings don't really. Like, there's no, like, stress is a choice, being angry is a choice. There's no need for that. And I think this kind of also ties back to the frontal lobe developing. When I was younger, I was a depressed little thing, and I was, like, not gonna lie, I was a shithead. Like, I sucked, you know. I was all right, but, like, I had all these feelings I didn't know what to do with, and that's just because I wasn't a developed person yet. It was still all forming. It's still all forming. But now that the frontal lobe is, like, lobing, I'm just like, wow, all of these negative feelings are a choice. I can choose what to do with my feelings. I can choose to be more positive. And ever since meeting you, I've been like, no, I have to be more positive, not just so I can be a better leader, but so I can just be a better person. And I think that's so amazing. Like, I think, like, business, sales, when you focus in on that and you come from a good place, it grows you so much as a person, and it's beautiful. And I love this entire journey with you guys.
I'm going to wrap this up with a story time for you, okay? Let's go. Okay, so it's summertime. It's about to be summertime, and this little girl goes to her dad, you know, and you measure yourself on the wall, you put a little tick mark.
Yeah.
So he measures her, he puts a tick mark, she sees where she's at, and she says, okay, Daddy, when the summer's over, I want to be this tall. Okay, and they put a little mark on it, whatever. Well, summer's over. She grew. She hit her goal. Okay, she ate her vegetables. She stretched. She just grew. Okay, and she was that tall. She hit her goal. She's good job, you know. And she turns and she looks at her dad and she says, "Dad, when do grown-ups stop growing?" It's like, when did you stop growing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're trying to say.
And it's not just about a height thing, but it's you set these goals.
Thank God it's just not a hype thing.
But really, the term grown up has been used in such a terrible way. I don't like the word grown up. I like adult is fine, but you're never completely grown up. Or you shouldn't choose to stop growing up, you know? You're in school all day as a kid and you have no choice but to learn. And then you graduate in Hawaii, you graduate from high school and that's it. Some places, mainland, you graduate from college and that's it. Whatever it is, but people just stop learning. They choose as soon as they can to just stop learning. When did you decide that you know it all?
But yeah,
That's so bad. That's so like you don't know it all. No one in the world will ever know it all. There's like 1,000 languages. There's a million places to be, million foods to try. You will never know it all. Quite honestly, it's impossible. The only person that could know it all is like God, the universe, and stuff like that. Like
It's not
none of us
possible.
are God. None of us is the universe. So like, just keep going. Just keep growing, and keep helping your people. Keep having them help you. Just have love in your heart with whatever you do. Surround yourself with good people, and just make the money moves.
kill it.
Just kill it. Go for it. Be a good entrepreneur. Be a good person. Go for it. Fuck them. Balls to the wall. You only live the one life, right? You only live it. And then I'm very.
YOLO.
I haven't. Okay, maybe you are old.
No, never.
We should just use YOLO.
YOLO.
And now she's spent. You can't tell me that's scam. You know, some kids this generation don't even know what you're.
I'm sure they don't.
Of course.
Well, they also don't know how to read.
Exactly.
Anyway, not to call out your kids, but also I'll say everything with my full chest. Whatever.
It's different.
But to call it the school system,
But
to call it the economy,
to call it the
Yes.
DOE big for real. Like, not to get on the state's bad side. I'm just saying.
They can improve on a lot of
Lots of
parents, work all the time to just make bare minimum. Don't work. Create a business.
Create a
But anyways, you have to create
That's another
income to create a business. That's
And you
different.
also need to have sales to have a business, or it's just an expensive hobby.
that part.
That part. Anyways,
kids aren't getting the attention they need nowadays.
yeah.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Pour back in.
Yeah, that's honestly why we're here. We want to pour back into ourselves, our families, our communities, and I feel like all really good business owners, we all start with this whole like, no, I want to do better for me and my family.
Yes,
Like, truly.
that's one of my main reasons why.
Right? It's like you just want to, and I think in Hawaii too, that's such a big thing. Ohana is such a big thing.
Yeah.
Y'all watch Lilo and Stitch, you know what it means.
That's my favorite show. I'm sorry, it is.
I love it. It's
You're
truly
so cute.
That's the first like local girl I've seen on TV. Like
Mhm.
any, you know. But yeah, going back to that, well, like just be a good person, love yourself more, love your community more, love your business more, and all good things will come when you just pour in more and you just love everything more. All good things, all love will come back to you, and I'm very grateful that I have such great love in my life. You guys have been so good. I love my girls; they have been so good to me, and we're here. This is what we get to do for work now.
We're here, we're queer, and we're not going anywhere.
Aha! We're here and we're clear.
That she run.
Thank you.
Okay, and that is it, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to POV. You're a girl with really cool friends, really cool business friends.